In Florida, people don't just disappear. They leave heat marks, security footage, hurricanes of evidence. So when a woman vanished from a quiet Florida suburb, with her car still warm, her purse untouched, her phone moving after she was gone, police didn't ask if she was murdered. They asked which man did it, and they picked the husband. Even though there was no body, no blood, no confession, just one problem. The last person who messaged her that night wasn't him. Before we continue, if you love real mystery stories that unravel layer by layer and expose what really hides behind closed doors, make sure to hit like and subscribe. It helps push stories like this to more people, and it keeps you from missing the next shocking update in this case. This happened in Central Florida, 20 minutes from Orlando. Close enough to theme parks, far enough to feel quiet. Palm trees, gated communities, motion lights on every driveway. The kind of neighborhood where nothing happens until it does. Her name was Rachel Miller, 34, born and raised in Florida, marketing executive, the type of woman who never missed a morning run, even in humidity. His name was Daniel Miller, 37, IT analyst, worked from home, obsessed with systems, backups, timestamps. They lived in a beige stucco house, HOA rules, ring cameras, perfect lawn, and behind that front door, a marriage was already collapsing. It came in at 2:14 a.m., an email, no name, no explanation, just 4 words, "She's not faithful." Attached, photos, Rachel, a hotel lobby off I-4, time-stamped, clear as day. Then screenshots, texts, explicit, detailed, impossible to explain away. Daniel didn't scream, didn't throw the phone. He did something much worse. He started collecting. The man in the photos wasn't a stranger. His name was Lucas Grant, 42, regional sales director, married, 2 kids in private school, and he lived 8 minutes away. Same subdivision, same grocery store, same Sunday barbecues. Lucas had eaten at Daniel's table, smiled at Rachel, texted her behind his back for months, maybe longer. Daniel didn't confront them, not yet. He waited. Monday morning, 8:07 a.m., emails hit inboxes across Florida. Lucas's wife, Lucas's boss, human resources, family members. Screenshots attached. No commentary, no threats, just proof. By lunchtime, Lucas was suspended. By dinner, his wife was gone. And by nightfall, Rachel came home furious. Neighbors later said they heard yelling, doors slamming, a marriage imploding. At 9:42 p.m., Rachel grabbed her purse and stormed out. She drove into the Florida night, humidity thick, roads still warm, storm clouds building. She was never seen again. By morning, her car was found, a Publix parking lot, 10 miles from home, unlocked, keys inside, purse on the passenger seat, wallet, cash, credit cards, all untouched. Her phone? Gone. Florida police called it a cool-off disappearance. Then Rachel missed work. That never happened. By day 3, they called Daniel in. Detectives expected grief. They got calm, too calm. Daniel answered everything. Yes, they fought. No, he didn't follow her. No, he didn't touch her phone. Then came the tech, cell tower data. Rachel's phone pinged at 11:17 p.m. near Daniel's office, 2 hours after she left. The implication was obvious. Police believed he met her, one final argument, one final act. But Daniel kept saying the same thing. If I wanted her gone, I wouldn't have exposed the affair. Florida prosecutors disagreed. There was no blood, no struggle, no forensic evidence, so they built a case on behavior, his planning, his documentation, his lack of visible emotion. They said he snapped, killed her, disposed of the body somewhere Florida never gives back, swamps, canals, alligators. The jury believed Rachel was dead. They believed Daniel knew more, but they couldn't prove murder, so they convicted him anyway. 10 years,
Rachel declared dead, case closed. Years later, another woman vanished. Same county, same grocery store parking lot, same phone ping time, 11:17 p.m. Different husband, same affair partner, Lucas Grant, and this time, Florida had video. Because buried in old server backups was a deleted message sent the night Rachel vanished, from her phone. Police never showed it to the jury, and when investigators finally recovered it, it didn't implicate Daniel. It exposed something far worse. What did it say? Why was it erased? And did Florida send the wrong man to prison while the real danger stayed free? Florida convicted the wrong man. That's not opinion, that's evidence. Because years after Rachel Miller vanished, police finally recovered the message she sent right before she disappeared, the one the jury never saw. And once you hear it, you'll understand why someone made sure it stayed deleted. The case was closed. Daniel Miller was already in prison. Rachel was legally dead. Florida had moved on, until a private investigator named Evan Cross took a look. Cross specialized in cold cases, especially ones involving technology. And when he requested archived carrier data, he found something strange. Rachel's phone wasn't just missing, it was wiped remotely. Not factory reset, not damaged, deleted. Precision deletion, the kind most people don't know how to do, unless they work in sales with encrypted company devices like Lucas Grant. The carrier didn't have the message, but the server backup did, buried in metadata, fragmented but readable. Sent at 9:58 p.m. from Rachel's phone to Lucas. It said, "He sent everything. Your wife knows. If anything happens to me, it's not an accident." That message alone changed the entire case. Rachel wasn't afraid of Daniel. She was afraid of Lucas. Rachel's message showed as delivered. Lucas always claimed he never responded, but the server logs told a different story. There was a reply, deleted within minutes. Investigators recovered only part of it, just 6 words, enough to chill anyone reading it. It said, "Stop panicking, I'll handle it." Remember the phone ping, 11:17 p.m. near Daniel's office? That was the prosecution's cornerstone. But Cross noticed something Florida police ignored. Lucas's phone pinged the same tower at 11:16 p.m., 1 minute earlier, meaning both phones were in the same area, but Daniel was home. His laptop was active. Work logs proved it. So why were Rachel's and Lucas's phones together? Because Rachel never went home. She went to meet him. That Publix parking lot? It wasn't chance. It was routine. Lucas stopped there almost every night. Same time, same space. Security footage finally surfaced. Grainy night vision. A woman matching Rachel's description. Arguing with a man in a baseball cap. Witnesses originally described him. Police dismissed it, but the footage confirmed it. The man grabs her arm. She pulls away. Then,
the camera cuts. Florida has something other states don't. Canals. Behind that Publix, a drainage canal. Unlit, unfenced, leading straight into wetlands. Search teams never checked it. Why? Because police believed the husband. Because the case was solved. Years later, divers finally searched. They didn't find a body. They found something else. Rachel's phone. Crushed. Waterlogged. SIM card removed. Lucas Grant was never arrested, never charged, never even seriously questioned. Why? Because he cooperated. Because he cried on the stand. Because he painted Rachel as unstable. And because Daniel looked cold, calculated, prepared. Lucas looked emotional. That's all it took. Then came Melissa. Different name, same pattern. Affair, threat of exposure, disappearance. Same grocery store, same time, same phone ping. But this time, Melissa survived. Barely. She ran, left Florida, changed her number, and when investigators finally found her, she said one thing. He said no one would believe me. She was talking about Lucas.
Daniel learned all this from prison, years too late. When Cross told him about the message, Daniel said something chilling. "I always thought she left me alive on purpose." Rachel didn't vanish randomly. She sent a warning, and it worked, just not in time. Lucas Grant has never been convicted. Daniel Miller is still fighting his sentence. Florida prosecutors refuse to reopen the case because admitting the truth means admitting failure. And somewhere in Florida, a man who handled it once may have done it again. Because the last thing Rachel did before her phone went dark was activate location sharing for 10 seconds. And that location was never entered into evidence. It leads somewhere Florida doesn't like to search. And when investigators finally go there, they might find what the state worked hard to bury. That's where this case ends, for now. Florida doesn't reopen cases, it buries them. But this time, someone went looking anyway, and what they found was never meant to surface. The location Rachel's phone shared for 10 seconds wasn't random. It wasn't a house. It wasn't a business. It was a stretch of wetlands behind a drainage canal. Unmarked, unfenced, ignored. The kind of place locals don't walk, because Florida doesn't need to hide bodies. It lets nature erase them. When divers finally entered the water, they weren't expecting miracles, just confirmation. Instead, they found disturbance, mud displaced, reeds broken, a drag pattern, and something else, a rusted metal object, not a weapon, a carabiner clip, the kind used on boating gear. Lucas owned a boat. Lucas Grant never talked about the boat. It wasn't registered under his name. It belonged to an LLC, inactive, but dock records showed movement the night Rachel vanished. 11:41 p.m. A vessel left a private slip, returned just before sunrise. Lucas told police he was home all night, sleeping. His wife backed him up. She had already been threatened with losing everything. Investigators didn't arrest Lucas. They invited him. Friendly conversation, just questions. They showed him the recovered message, Rachel's warning. They showed him the partial reply, "I'll handle it." Lucas didn't deny it. He minimized it, said Rachel was spiraling, said she was dramatic. Then they mentioned the boat. Lucas stopped talking for 8 seconds. In interrogation rooms, silence screams. Lucas leaned back, crossed his arms, and said something that chilled everyone listening. "You think you're the first people to come looking?" That was not the answer of an innocent man. Investigators pressed harder. Why meet her that night? Why delete the message? Why lie about the boat? Lucas finally snapped. "She was going to ruin my life." That was the first honest thing he said. Lucas told his version. Rachel demanded he confess, threatened to go public, threatened his kids, his job. He said he agreed to meet her, to calm her down. Publix parking lot, late, no witnesses. He claimed she got hysterical, that she ran, that she fell into the canal. He said he panicked, left, did nothing, let Florida do the rest. Investigators didn't believe him because the evidence didn't match. Rachel's phone wasn't dropped, it was dismantled, SIM card removed, crushed. That takes time, that takes intent, that takes someone who knew exactly what to erase. And then came Melissa. Melissa sat across from investigators, hands shaking, voice steady. She described Lucas perfectly, the charm, the manipulation, the threats, and then she said the line that ended everything. "He told me about the other woman. He said Florida helped me." Lucas never knew Melissa talked. He never knew she remembered details, like the boat, like the canal, like the way he said, "No one ever finds anything here." Lucas Grant was arrested, not for murder. Florida didn't have a body. He was charged with obstruction, witness intimidation, evidence tampering, the same charges Daniel went to prison for. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. Daniel watched from a prison TV, years stolen, a marriage destroyed, a wife still missing. Daniel's conviction was challenged. New evidence, suppressed data, withheld messages. The judge listened carefully and then said the words Florida hates. This court has concerns, but concerns don't equal freedom. The state argued procedure, finality, closure. Rachel's parents sat silently. They didn't care who paid. They wanted answers. Divers went back, deeper, further into the wetlands. They never found Rachel, but they found something else. Bone fragments, animal disturbed, impossible to conclusively identify. Florida claimed ambiguity. Again, Lucas's lawyers smiled. Daniel remained inside, and Florida moved on. Before Lucas was led away, he asked one question. Not about charges, not about evidence. He asked this: "You still don't know where she is, do you?" No one answered, because Florida still doesn't, and maybe never will. Daniel Miller may walk free. Lucas Grant may never be charged with murder. Rachel Miller may never be found. But somewhere in Florida, there is a place that knows the truth, and it's still waiting. If this case has pulled you in and you want justice for Rachel Miller, don't leave without clicking like and subscribe. The next part of this investigation is coming, and you do not want to miss what comes next. Let me know in the comments, what do you think really happened to Rachel Miller? Do you believe she's still alive? And who do you think is lying, Daniel Miller or someone we haven't even uncovered yet? Your comments help this case and help this channel grow.